Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
Mike.
And today, Blind Fight Friday. So what are we doing today for Blind Fight Friday? This was a suggestion by One Gun Red. Said he'd like to see one. I forget which one we did. It might have been on this barrel. He wanted to see the new Riff Single Barrel that we got for, it's 112.2 proof. We got it for $49.99. He wanted to see it go up against the Four Roses Small Batch Select that we got for $59.99. So I said, ooh, that sounds like a good match. So let's give it a try. I do remember loving both of these. So we're going to see, which one comes out on top.
Is this fairly new? Because there's people talking highly about this one all of a sudden, but
we just recently did
it.
You don't find them all the time. Like there's a lot of, I don't know if it's fairly new or not, to be honest with you. I know we raved about it when we did it.
I do see him.
So normal Blind Fight Friday rules. Mike pours them from me. I'm out of the room. I pour them from him. He's out of the room. We may or may not be drinking the same thing. You'll know because I run the B-rolls with it. So
the B-rolls.
We'll start with.
I can tell you, nose is right up there.
Oh, yeah, I can say that also. I don't know if we're drinking the same thing.
Well, my one is
just being poured, and I didn't even spin it. No, it definitely has a nice caramel.
Mm-hmm. Super caramel.
I don't remember not liking either one of these two. Did I say the small batch select? I think it's 103 proof. I'm not sure if I said the proof on this one.
You did. I know you did on that
104 proof on this one, just in case.
I'm really liking the nose on one. Without even a sip.
Whoa. I remember liking that whatever that is. That's actually very good. I remember liking both of these a lot.
Holding on,
and the fact that both of them are 59 and 49 price wise. I mean, these are solid whiskeys for the price. That's for sure. That's the one thing I've come to the conclusion. We may find an occasional $150 one that we really like, but is it that much better than like something like this? Whatever glass one is, this is a banging bottle right now. There's such a nice caramel on the nose.
Right there. It holds on.
Mm-hmm. There's like a fruity to that. Mine has a hint of a.
You wouldn't think these both bottles hold the same amount again. That's one of them other little things. You could dump that into this and this into that, and it would work.
It should not even be close.
It doesn't look it.
No.
Sorry about that. It was just
no, but
another strange observation in my land.
It's not only that though. Like this is just a dynamite looking bottle. Not a lot of people do the black. It jumps out on a shelf. But the one thing I will say about Four Roses that I always like is their single barrel's a different shape than their small batch select is a different. All their variations have a different bottle, so you can see it from a distance, and you can be like, "Oh, that's a single barrel. That's a select.
Which is going to be costly on their end
because it's a different bottle." So you would think so. All right, we'll move on to glass number two.
I'm really liking
whatever one was very, very good.
I'm really liking.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The nose on number two is not really lacking either. Sometimes even a big nut. We say it about Bookers. Like sometimes you don't get a good nose. You don't get anything out of it. Like both of these, again, a half price.
Some might even have a little bit more of a nuttier nose than a caramel nose.
I think my glass one was a little bit darker for me. I'm gonna have to go head to head with that, but this seems a little bit lighter.
In the beginning, it did not have anything, but after that sipping that, it's holding on.
Mm-hmm. That's solid too. And this is going to be a funny one because both of these on their own would be phenomenal. But on my first,
almost like all the blinds we do,
but on my first sip,
different.
There was a distinct difference in flavor and taste that stood out. So let me take a second sip.
It still holds on, but in a different way, a different end note.
Yes.
Both noses actually, and I don't have a Four Roses. I don't have a New Riff either, but
This is a tough one because they're both good in their own way. That is very good too.
It does.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick which is which.
It even hangs on.
It does. But then again, that's a happy proof. 104 proof to me is a good proof. And then this one was what, 111?
15, I thought.
112.2. They're both in that. They're both in a happy land of proof wise. So, all right, I'm gonna have to go now. We can knick-knack as we're doing it. I'm gonna have to go from 2 to 1 this time.
Ooh. Honestly, initially I was leaning towards 1, but. It's way more caramel-esque.
So, like, there's a darker element to glass number 1 than on the nose. It's like a darker. Well, this one's
more
almost like
super caramel.
Yeah. There's like a dark richness. Like it's a difference between like eating butter or eating brown
or
butter.
Even a maple syrup caramel.
Now let's try to taste. If I was going to rate it on the nose, though, I'd give the glass 1 for me, just a touch better on the nose.
It's stronger. I'm actually going probably even flavor.
Viscosity wise, that glass 2 is very good though.
But 1 seems to hang on longer.
I'm going back to 1 right now. I'm still waiting for the flavor to come out of my mouth on glass number 1 on 2 because
it hangs on more in 1 to me.
No, there's almost like I almost get like a cherry on just a hint of it in glass 1. It has a better oak presence, I think, in glass 1 too. At the end, it finishes with a little oakier one.
Kind of almost has more oak.
I will say, for $59 and $49, there's not a loser on this table, hands down.
Absolutely not.
I started out with thinking this. I'm going to just do it one more time. I think. I would be more than happy with either one of these pours if someone was to say, hey, you want one of these? But
my 2 has a nuttier finish.
I have a slight edge to one of them.
1's nose is ultra caramel.
Flavor, too. I think it just has a little more, it has more flavor.
I think it hangs on longer, too.
I think I'm getting a hint of like a cherry in the front, but I'm getting a lot more oak presence on my glass 1.
In the final finish.
And I think it drinks a little thicker, like it's a little more viscous, and it coats a little bit better. Not that 2 is a slouch, but I think 1 just is a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm going with my glass number 1. I personally am just throwing it out there. I think it might be switched. I think it might be this, because I'm thinking that little extra burst of, it might be proof and flavor. I think this might be the new Riff. I could be totally wrong on a bottle, but my glass 1 is definitely better than my glass 2.
I'm going to agree with you. Myself, I think it's 1 and 2 the way you have it set up. That's what I just wrote, and for the same reasons. I just think that 1 holds on. It's got a better nose, and it's got a thicker end result. So
I will say though, even when it's in glass 2, that's the last thing I just drank.
It's got
and the flavor is still there though. It has a great viscosity. Sometimes you get some and they taste good, but they go away right away. Like it has a good finish.
And let me ask you the ultimate question that everyone says: oh, does it taste like floral? Does it taste
no,
like
I don't get any of the going with my wife buys. I drink a bunch of tea all day long, and sometimes she'll get me some of the hibiscus or the jasmine and all of them. So I don't get the floral. I think that's a subliminal thing because the thing's called 4 Roses. I will say if
not even in the nose.
If glass 2 is 4 Roses, it is definitely lighter and brighter. Like the dark, if whatever glass 1 is way more dark and rich and thick on the palate. Where the other one is not thin by any means, but it drinks a little softer than
it does drink
what the first one is.
And the 1 hangs on
a little bit longer, but the 2
does.
hangs on a long time.
No, it does.
The 1 does edge it out in that. So in your case,
2 may end up in a little less of an oak finish.
I agree with that also. I think there is more of an oak. I don't remember the years or how long they were, but so you prefer glass number 1
I do.
over glass 2, and you think the bottles are as I just switched them?
Correct.
And that is how I poured them. I actually poured New Riff on your left, 4 Roses on your right.
Well, and for you, I did the same thing.
Oh, you did the same thing. So
went to
it's
that
funny.
one.
We try to switch the bottles up and do everything, but you know what? It is what it is. Because it's always funny when we drink totally different. We say the same thing and it's totally different bottles. But in this case, there's definitely not a loser. I would highly recommend. But even on a good note, if you have not tried this new Riff Single Barrel at $49.99, it's even cheaper than this, and it is almost that much better.
I would jump on that. If,
100%.
If it comes to your area, I would probably jump on it.
So
and these are somewhat scarce sometimes too.
They are, and it's funny because it came in like a wave. Like I didn't see single barrels or this for the longest time. You only saw the small batch on the shelves,
right?
And the other one, I forget
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom! They had both of them were everywhere, and then I was like,
lucked out because I don't really see that option as much. New Riff here lately has been
I know the store that you closer to you
stacked.
Always has them, but they're not. They don't always have the full lineup because some of the stores I go to, they only have like the rye, or they'll have a single barrel, but they have a single barrel rye. I know.
They even got their own pick.
I know there's one with. Oh, do they at that one? The store down the street. Because they had a single barrel rye, and I was like, oh, I want to try that, but I know how you're anti-rye sometimes, but you're coming around. But honestly, either one of these barrels phenomenal. Thank you, One Gun Red, for this suggestion. If you have not tried either one of these two, I say go to the store. They're for under $60 on both of them. I think they're a steal.
I'd jump on this one to start.
The single barrel. You know what? We haven't had anything by New Riff we haven't liked. You know what I mean? So good for them. Same thing with Four Roses, though. They actually knock it out of the park every time we play them, too. We drank them, too. So, there you go.
They do hold their own. Actually, you're right. It does hold its own.
It's sneaky. Yeah, the single barrel we have is actually sneaky good. I'm trying to find someone found a higher proof one. I can't wait to try one of them, too. To get it. But well, there you go. There's Blind Fight Friday. If you have a suggestion for Blind Fight Friday, because what I might do with some of them too, because on Blind Sample Showdown I'm putting head-to-heads. I'd love to throw in certain ones that we've done already into the blinds if I ever run out, so that just to see when they're totally blind to us, how do we actually pick them? See if we pick them the same way we do right now. You know what I mean? But if you have a suggestion, leave a comment down below.
It's still, I don't know.
No, it's blind.
I got the mini BB going on.
It's
so
just funny
when
when it's 4 months from now, we don't even remember what the bottles are. You know what I mean? So you're strictly.
You think I'm looking around?
Well, that's what you. But then you're strictly going to go off of what the flavor of the whiskey is. You know what I mean? It's 100% true test that way, right? So
because then we're not really.
We have no clue.
Anything.
Yeah, we have no clue unless
this knows though.
Nostradamus over here fucking predicts the bottles because I've been mopping up on that. But
this is that's about the only good thing I could do.
Yeah,
but this. Nose one is way better than two.
Mm-hmm.
And now
it started better,
even,
and it
now
just
even
keeps getting,
your oatmeal's coming in. Everything. This is way.
No,
they're
they're phenomenal. So again,
so if you're a sipper, really like a legit sipper, this is gonna come in
because the flavor just keeps going.
Oh yeah,
it just going. It just keeps getting better in the glass.
And the price, you really can't beat the price.
Again, that's why I said. If you have not tried it, I would run to the store and get this one because at the proof, at the price, that's phenomenal. It is. It's a great drink. So, Blind Fight Friday. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.
Subscribe.